Yeah, he is one weird looking dude. Like he looks like he has something off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, duh. He's a mass murderer. Yeah. He did have something off.
That's fair.
Looking for saucers in the black night high. Abduction dreams and alien screams. He says they're out there more than it seems. JD's got a lens hunting for Bigfoot's trace. Deep in the woods, in the shadows, embrace a rush on the ground. He's frozen in place. Did you hear that? Something's on the chase.
So welcome to this episode of Chumming with the Spirits. We are going to kind of dive back into our forte of sorts, and this is not going to be an interview or a live investigation or live presentation.
Podcast?
Yeah. I don't know. We're
covering a topic.
We're covering a topic.
Interesting topic.
Interesting topic. But I want to do something different before, if you don't mind, before we start this.
Let's try not picking our nose on the podcast.
I was wiping my breath. Yeah.
I
want to read
That's an outtake.
I want to read a quote before we start this episode to kind of set the tone for what we're going to be talking about. And it's from Friedrich Nietzsche, or Nietzsche, however you say it.
Nietzsche.
Man is the cruelest animal. And that'll make a little bit more sense once we get into the subject matter of what we're going to be talking about tonight. What are we going to be talking about, JD?
We're going to be talking about H.H. Holmes, or his actual name was Herman Webster.
Mudgett.
Was it Mudgett?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a horrible name.
Yeah. It's...
No wonder he changed it. Mudgett?
It's funny because
you little Mudgett.
when I was researching some of this stuff today, Jen's up in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I was like, "Oh, he went to college in the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor," and she's like, "How far away is that?" And it was like an hour and a half because she's staying in an old Victorian Airbnb right now, and she's freaking out.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, Kalamazoo, that's where Kellogg's, Cereal, Post. There's a ton of history up in that area. In the heyday, Kalamazoo was like the mecca.
Oh yeah. So she's the house she's staying in is beautiful, and all of the houses around her on the same street are like here they would be like $5 million Victorian mansions. So I told her, I was like, "Oh yeah, it's haunted." She has to go down into the basement to wash her clothes. And I was like, "Why don't you go down at night?" And she's like, "No." I was like, "Well, that's how you meet new friends." And she's not having it. I feel kind of bad for her. But the topic of H.H. Holmes, it's weird that he changed all of his names. So he was known as he was born Herman Webster Mudgett. He changed his name completely.
He had like 6 or 7 aliases that he was using.
Yeah. But if people don't know who we're talking about, he is, how do you call it? Fathered in as one of America's earliest major serial killers. And I know you don't believe it, but I don't necessarily believe that either, because here in our neck of the woods, 25 years earlier to H.H. Holmes, we had a serial killer family. in Kansas. So
Now, to be fair, where he became notorious was Chicago and the World's Fair.
yeah,
So there's a good chance a lot of people in the time frame may not have known about the Bloody Benders.
that's fair.
And with Chicago's newspapers and all that, that may be why that gets brought up.
That he needs.
Same thing if somebody would have been murdering people in San Francisco or New York.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just we don't have they didn't have back then the instant knowledge of what's going on across the United States. But
no,
he's if you look him up, a lot of videos and that call him like the first American serial killer.
Yep.
But and there's a lot of mystery to it because unfortunately, like he's known for the murder hotel.
yeah, and
It never got mapped and it got destroyed.
Yes.
So there's they did, I think who was it? One of the newspapers did a fictitious layout of the hotel because once he was hung, they destroyed all of it. Like, I mean, and it was literally designed to get rid of bodies and do all sorts of stuff.
So I have images of that I'll post in the video. The article, the title from the New York World was called "The Castle of a Modern Bluebeard." So I would not be surprised based on the way he did things if the movie series Saw was not loosely based on him. Because when you look at it, it's basically the same thing. He was setting traps for people, hiding inside the walls and watching them try to suffer to escape. It was devious and debaucherous and evil and kind of cool.
Well, yeah, and the only reason why they know about the hotel is because of his mess up with him killing his business partner.
Yep.
And that whole story is crazy because he was in jail for a little bit.
Yep.
Met a person and was talking about he wanted to fake his business partner's death so they can claim the $10,000 life insurance policy. And his cellmate got him in touch with a lawyer for a certain price, and they set it up. He made it look like a fake explosion. They singed the body, singed the face, and everything was fine. And they paid out, but H.H. Holmes never went back and paid the mate. Hold on one second. Appreciate it, sir.
Quick technical deviation for some ice cream from
Sonic.
Kinos.
Thank you.
Sonic. I was reading it backwards.
So, back to what I was saying is, he never paid the inmate the $500 that he promised.
Nope.
So then the inmate got a hold of people and told them, hey, you need to go check this out. Well, when they started looking into it, they resumed the body, found out the body had enough chloroform in his stomach to have killed him from that alone.
Yep.
Then found out, because the inmate said it was not his business partner. They faked it to get and it turned out it was actually his business partner.
And
that he killed, which they don't even know why.
Supposedly, not Billy, he actually confessed to 27 murders to his cellmate, or whatever they call it. Only 8 of them were ever confirmed, but that's pretty crazy. Like, most people that commit such atrocities, I don't know why they want notoriety for it. Have you noticed that when it comes to serial killers, the major
because they're proud of their work. I mean, they become infamous over it, and they get their name out there. They become a celebrity, and and that's part of the problem with modern day. That's why they've stopped trying to do people's names as much, because you get copycat killers.
Yeah.
You see people get famous and have lasting, notoriety over it, and that's what some people end up trying to strive for.
Well, it's just when you look at like the Zodiac or the BTK, they probably would have gotten away with it if they hadn't sent riddles and articles into the newspapers, mailed letters to the police department. It's almost like they wanted to get caught so that they could get notoriety, like you were saying, notoriety and famous for their work.
BTK was doing it because he truly thought he was smarter than the police. And it wasn't the police that caught him. His daughter turned him in.
No shit. I did not know that.
Yeah, if you looked into it, they talk about it. If you actually looked into it, his daughter found his trophy pile in his garage.
Oh man, that's horrible.
But it had a file, and she thought it was kind of weird, and then turned it in. I believe that's how they got. It wasn't because the police figured it out.
Can you imagine?
And that's Ed Kemper.
Yeah.
A lot of people know he turned himself in.
Yeah.
He was so smart that he knew he would do more and decided for whatever reason to turn himself in. Otherwise, and because of him, there's profiling on people like him to help try to catch him, because that level of intelligence, if he didn't want to get caught, they would have never caught him.
If you ever get the chance, everyone, to watch the Netflix show Mindhunters, I believe is what it was called, but it's about the FBI agents who are interviewing Kemper and other serial killers to start a program.
Was it Criminal Minds?
No,
it was
Mindhunters. But man, Ed Kemper was.
Oh yeah, no, he knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and the thing is, like, when we're talking about these people, there's something off to not have remorse for anything that you're doing like that.
They're psychopaths.
Yeah.
They don't have the same connection as everybody else, and they're.
What is it in human biology that gives us the ability to have those offset functions compared to things in the animal kingdom? I know we've talked about previously the ghosts in the darkness, the lions that were supposedly serial killers,
man eaters.
That's a 1 in a million one-off, right? Like most.
No, not well for them to specifically go after 200 and some odd men. Yeah. And also to be two male lions to team up like that was very rare. But Bengal tigers are notorious.
Really?
Like if they are territorial and they will hunt you down. There are stories of Bengal tigers, grizzly bears were known when mountain men were tracking them and trying to reduce the population. They were known to backtrack their own tracks because they'd figure out somebody was following them and ambush.
So what I'm getting at is they were doing that stuff for a reason, not just out of pure joy, right?
There's some. So when you get into human psychosis, there's like we have the army, we have the military. You are doing certain things. You want to make sure somebody's crazy enough to kill somebody, but not crazy enough to kill everybody. And they think some of these particular patterns of people, psychopaths, sociopaths, and others, they had roles. Like when we were tribes, you had to have people that could go out and protect the tribe. That didn't, because there's a reason why people get PTSD and they go to war. I mean, there's so much trauma. Those type of people don't get that.
That's fair.
That there's roles for everybody. When you have competing tribes, and we've lucked out. We've lived in a very social environment. Growing up when there's other human-like people, the Dezovians, Neanderthals, however you want to say it, and they keep finding newer ones. We're all in and some of them, like Neanderthals, they are figuring out that they didn't have an issue with cannibalism. They don't have the same proteins So
Interesting.
yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff. So they're trying to figure out that some of these mental disorders, as we call them, probably had a use back in the day. Like, as long as he liked you, he wasn't, well, like Ed Kemper, if he liked you, he wasn't going to kill you, but he had no problems killing anybody.
Or talking about it.
Yeah, we're talking about it. And like everybody that interviewed him said he was a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Like it was so weird because he was a nice guy, very intelligent, could have conversations. Like he said, he even realized he was a menace and turned himself in, and you get people like H. Holmes that he was sadistic. He, like you said, he was watching, trapping people. He loved dissecting.
Well, yeah, so that's what he went to school for. So he went to school in Ann Arbor at the University of Michigan for medicine and surgery. That's what his passion was, if you would say.
Well, and then
Go ahead.
did you read the story about the landlord?
Yeah.
How disturbing is that?
Fucked up.
So the story is his landlord was getting a foul odor from his room.
Yep.
And she went in and looked, opened the door, figured out where the smell was coming from, was underneath his bed, took like a broom and put it under the bed and sweeped out a baby corpse. And he goes, well, that was for homework because he was in a medical class and on dissection.
Well, he was also known for not backdoor.
Trapdoor. That's a trapdoor, not a backdoor. Totally big different things.
No, he was known to join in and go out and abduct cadavers for research for people. Yeah. Like he was part of those groups that went out there and found.
Because you can make money.
Yeah. Oh, they made a lot.
Even more if you're making them, the cadavers. So yeah, grave robbing and all that. But he was in school for that, and like she just played it off because like in the 1890s, it was fairly loose on body control. I mean that a lot of people don't realize, like it was pretty messed up. Like,
but some of the names that he had were just disturbing in themselves. He was known as like the Beast of Chicago, the Torture Doctor, and then they made a book that's really, really good called Devil in the White City, but he was known as the Devil in the White City.
Well, and that's from his quote that when they asked him why, he says, well, I have the devil in me.
And that I want to get your opinion on this because I often wonder is I can't remember his name. Oh, Sam. Summer Sam. I think that's who it was that he was told to do this by a dog and all this stuff. And he eventually came clean and said, I lied about all that stuff. But it makes you wonder if these are actually normal people, but they're under the influence of some supernatural presence. You know where I'm going with that, right?
Yeah, like they're demonic possessed or influenced. With what they do, I think it'd be a pretty easy argument to make. There's definitely something wrong with them, whether it's spiritually or mentally or.
So he actually claimed at one point that he was possessed by Satan himself. I found that kind of interesting.
Well, I mean, that's what he used to explain why he enjoyed doing those things.
And I think that was mainly more for an scapegoat excuse to try to get off the hook for doing stuff. Insanity
plea.
But
didn't work. He still got hung.
When we talk about, so they called it the murder castle. It's the building that he had during.
There's over 3 stories with a basement.
Well,
and
it had all kinds of horrific rooms supposedly they've never been able to truly like verify this, because it was actually burned down by an arsonist shortly after he got arrested.
Yeah, no, it also makes you wonder if he didn't have that done.
Yeah, I've wondered that too, because
That he
supposedly,
was getting rid of the evidence, because it's like, who knows what all, and like I said, there's an article on what they think. And I wonder if they didn't get the blueprints from when the building was originally built, because he had it all reworked.
yeah,
That was the other thing. He wasn't that dumb of a guy. I mean, he was able to purchase
yeah,
and do business, and I mean, yeah, he was a con artist, but I mean, he was successful at that. And like I said, had he not stiffed his jailmate, they may not have caught him for another 20 years. Because Chicago loses people all the time, even back then.
or at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it supposedly had. God, why do I keep saying that word?
Supposedly.
Supposedly. Why can't
He's up there, K-State.
Why can't I get out of this? Hold on a second.
What are you trying to do?
Get out of this freaking image. Okay.
You're looking all over the place like a rabbit in a trap.
So supposedly, it had torture chambers, gas chambers, trapdoors in most of the rooms, a crematorium. It's
observation rooms to spy on other rooms in between walls.
There were passageways between the walls so that he could watch them suffer, all this stuff. And I don't know if you say genius or sadicist. Because
I think there was a level of genius to him, but like almost all those people, I think he thought too highly of himself.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't pay the guy in prison, and that was his downfall. And he thought he was untouchable, and the guy was in prison. What more could he do? And it's like, he managed to find you a lawyer to help you do fraud from inside the jail. Maybe that's not the guy to screw over,
Well, and then when you're looking at his list of confessed killings, it's like usually people like this have an MO or type that they go after, but he was going after pregnant women with unborn children.
Oh yeah, he didn't have a type. Like he was just indiscriminately, like, it was opportunistic.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he confessed to 27. There's others, 6 other victims, and that's the whole thing. They have no idea. With the building being burned down,
they think it's somewhere between 133 and 200 plus total victims throughout his reign of terror.
Well, to be fair, Chicago at the time would have used that opportunity to
blame everything on him.
Yeah. And I'm not saying there wasn't copycat killers at the time, but I mean, he could have. I mean, that's the bad part, is with him being able to dissect, and if he did have a crematorium, there's no way you could find out how many people.
No, because crematorium will melt bones too, right? To ash.
If you keep it hot enough and burning long enough, yep.
So, before we get into the big rabbit hole that I want to go down, that I think you're going to find pretty laughable, let's take a quick break. And if you want to finish your ice cream real quick, and I'll fill my drink back up, and we'll be right back, folks.
Parachum here from Chumming with the Spirits podcast. We have all had those horrible mornings after a long night out from drinking with friends. But what if that could all be avoided with a simple gummy? That's right, a simple gummy can help reduce the effects of the worst hangovers you could possibly imagine. Liqueur's special product contains electrolytes, antioxidants, vitamins B6 and B12, as well as prickly pear and milk thistle to help counteract those previous night's endeavors. Get rid of those next morning discomforts and get on with your day-to-day routines without missing a single step. Make sure to visit their store at www.liqueur.com, liqure.com, and use code CHUMMING CHUMMING, at checkout to receive your 20% discount today.
So welcome back. Thank you for indulging us in that break because we needed it.
Hopefully you refilled your cup because we're about to go down a rabbit hole that's...
Shit. I forgot to refill my cup. Oh well. Yeah, so
this wacky story of a rabbit hole that, I mean, there's a TV show based off of it.
Oh yeah. So what is it that we're going to talk?
So the rabbit hole you want to go down,
Yeah,
is there was a theory because H.H. Holmes had been in London, England in the 1880s, that he may have actually been Jack the Ripper and got away with it and came to the United States. Came back.
I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you darn kids.
You Scotland Yard. Well, I mean, to be fair, they never did catch Jack the Ripper. They now, through DNA, think they know who it was.
Time caught up with his ass, though.
Yeah. But the problem with Jack the Ripper versus H.H. Holmes, Holmes had indiscriminately killed whoever, whatever.
Yeah.
Jack the Ripper was very particular and was going after a certain set of people.
Hookers. I said it.
Ladies of the night. The Nightingales. With 5 canon killings with, I think there was 2 others that they suspected might have been him, but they weren't sure.
Oh, I guarantee you it was in the 30s, 40s, 50s. Like, those are just the ones that he publicly announced with the displays. I guarantee you he probably killed a lot more than that.
Well, the fact that they never caught him, who knows?
Yeah. So, they
but that was a rabbit hole because I mean it kind of sensationalized enough that I believe it wasn't one of his grandkids, but it was like his great nephew
yeah,
or something.
Like that, yeah.
Did the TV show because they went in depth on what H.H. Holmes did, and then they kind of talked about because he did go to London. He was over there during about the same time frame, but there was also a theory because he was such a great con man that he may have escaped his execution.
Yeah,
and in 2017 they exhumed his body to verify. What was weird is that when they buried him, they poured him in concrete
at his request because he was worried about grave robbers. That was the whole reason, and he wanted to be buried 10 feet down, not 6 feet, because he was worried people were going to exhume his body and because of his popularity.
But what was weird about the concrete?
It preserved him.
It made it airtight. Yeah, airtight seal around him. And even in 2017, like his mustache was perfectly preserved, his clothing was intact, and they were able to identify him through his dental records, and that was definitely H.H. Holmes that was buried.
So he was so popular that a character actually played him in the show Supernatural. I don't know if you know that. And they actually made a video game about him. I actually own it. It's called,
of course you would.
It's part of the Dark Pictures anthology. So they're the games that are they're like watching movies, but you get choices of what to do, and it was called
Choose Your Path Adventure type thing.
Yeah, and the game's called The Devil in Me, and you play a group of teenage paranormal investigators that go into a murder castle to try to film paranormal activity, and this character traps them in rooms, and it's basically the story of
H.H. Holmes.
Yeah, but
Mugrat.
It's
Sorry.
It's interesting because you're actually going to be in Danville, Pennsylvania tomorrow night. I was looking because he was convicted and sent to, I'm going to say this wrong, Moyamensing Prison, which is in Philadelphia. And he's actually buried in an unmarked grave at the, I can't talk. the Holy Cross Cemetery in Eden, Pennsylvania, which is like 2.5 hours from where you're going to be.
How far away from York is that?
Let me check.
York, Pennsylvania.
I cannot type. It's an hour and 57 minutes.
No, so 2 hours, still 2 hours from where I'm going to be at.
Which is
I
crazy.
guess I'll just have to go to Gettysburg.
So this is kind of freaking me out a little bit. So, it's in Eden. So the town that I lived in growing up is less than an hour away from it.
Where he's buried?
Yeah.
And you never knew?
I never knew. Yeah, because I used to live in Coatesville, and that's right outside of Lancaster, Westchester, right outside of... yeah. That's crazy.
Wind picking up where you're at?
Yeah. The windows are starting to go crazy.
It is super dark and the wind's picking up.
Yeah, which it shouldn't be that dark by now. I mean, yeah, the sun's set, but it shouldn't be this dark.
Yeah, the sun's just now going down. I bet it's pitch black out. The storm's rolling in.
Yeah, I'm gonna... Why can't I type? Why is it not Shawnee? Jesus Christ.
It has nothing to do with this.
Edwardsville, Kansas. Okay. We're still quite a ways from the storm head. It's not going to hit us until like 9:45 to 10, but it's a pretty gnarly line. But so going back to H.H. Holmes, right?
Yep.
Do you think, in your opinion, do you think that if this were to have happened in today's day and age, right?
Yep.
Do you think he would have been more popular in a positive way than a negative way with the culture and society that is abound?
No, I think he would have been very similar. Very similar to Ted Bundy, BTK, all the modern day serial killers. There's an infamy to them. I don't know if they would have caught him.
Yeah.
Or put it the other way, he may never have gone on the rampage because he may have been caught for the other stuff and put in jail sooner.
That's fair. The fraud and the embezzlement and all the other stuff, that forgery that he was known for. Yeah, because back then they really didn't have laws for all that kind of stuff. It was just like,
Well, all you had to do was change your name and move someplace else.
Well, yeah, and it's a lot harder to change your name nowadays than it was back then. Well, and with the influx of cameras and tracking capabilities, it's almost impossible.
Just fingerprints. Yeah. Fingerprints were still a modern thing. They hadn't really been discovered and used.
Not until France discovered it.
Well, they also were using cranium sizes there for a while.
Yes. The distance between the occipital orbitals, the eye sockets.
Right.
But I often wonder. So there's no proof that he actually lured people in from the World's Fair to the murder castle. But I wonder if he would have gone on such a wild rampage if that hadn't taken place in Chicago. Like, I wonder if that gave him motivation.
Probably, with the amount of influx of people, and especially just random people that, again,
other cultures, that he may have been interested in dissecting and studying.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much. When that came in, the influx of people, and like you said, the tracking of people in that was very limited back then.
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't uncommon for people.
So,
Sorry, I just got a weather alert.
yep, I just did too. Sorry about that, folks. We had a natural disaster.
Not if you edit this right, they won't know a thing.
Oh, it's going to be in there. So what I was
Severe weather is what you're trying to say. Natural disaster,
Yeah,
severe weather for the next 45 minutes.
Same thing.
We may have a tornado come through. We
So-
are in the tornado.
So what I was talking to people about, while not being recorded, because I didn't know I wasn't recording still, was that there was an author in the 90s.
There's a lot of authors in the 90s.
Yeah, his name was Adam Selzer, and he wrote an interesting hypothesis that just killing several people isn't necessarily enough for most definitions of a serial killer. More often, it has to be a series of similar crimes committed over a period of time, usually more to satisfy a psychological urge on the killer's part than any more practical motive. The murders we connect Holmes to generally had a clear motive. Someone knew too much, was getting in his way, and couldn't be trusted. These murders weren't simply for love of bloodshed, but a necessary part of furthering his swindling options and protecting his lifestyle choices. I don't know if I technically agree with that because when you look at the list of the 27 confession killings that he did, there's restaurant workers, bankers from Wisconsin, women with unborn children, a janitor. It doesn't make any sense. There's no pattern to the madness. Like it would say, like, how is a restaurant worker?
Oh. I just realized that American Gothic is loosely based off of him. It was inspired by H.H. Holmes.
Oh, really?
I
What's
didn't
American Gothic? I don't know what that is.
So American Gothic was written by Robert Bloch, a fictionalized version of the story of Holmes, but it's a novel. It's a fairly famous novel.
This is interesting. One of the victims he allegedly confessed to killing, unconfirmed. Oh, confirmed. I'm sorry. This one was confirmed. Her name was Emily Van Tassel.
Van Tassel?
Yeah. What is that? Do you know where I'm going with that?
No. Never heard of it.
Okay. I was like, really? That's interesting. I wonder if it's any relation.
Why don't you go down that rabbit hole for the viewers so they know who Van Tassel is?
So the Van Tassels were the family from Washington Irving's story. It wasn't a novel. Stories of the Headless Horseman. They were folktales. Yeah, they were the family that was supposedly living in Sleepy Hollow. That were basically the magistrates of the city, the county. Like they were the heads of the heads. They were the big dick on campus type of thing. I don't know why I said that. But they were implicated in the possibility of being a conspiratorial part of the Revolutionary War. Yeah. So that was 100 years prior, wasn't it? Basically.
Yeah.
So maybe 60, 70 years.
Yeah.
But
Gotta take
that's
you.
there's
How
not
many
many,
Van Tassels? Yeah.
right? Like that's weird. So he referred to her as Rosine Van Jassend, and the newspapers referred to her as Anna Van Tasseld, but her real name was Emily Van Tassel. That's
And that's the other thing is all the different names, and there, you get three names right there for the same person
yeah, yeah. Um,
with very loose records. I mean, that's the other thing is like that. Did he kill three people right then, or was that just one person?
yeah, that's very possible. Yeah.
You know, are they actually talking about the same person? Like he may have been talking about somebody else.
Another one was Mrs. Mary Havercamp's niece, Sarah Cook. Havercamp's another very, very prosperous family from back in the day. So maybe there was a motive to prosper his financial success and future endeavors. I take back what I said. Yeah, but the way he went about things, like some victims were slowly starved to death. Some of them were the cause of death was heart problems. Like, who knows what this guy was doing to these people? Slowly and meticulously and torturous in nature.
Well, and with him being such a con man, that you couldn't really trust anything he said.
No, like this guy was supposedly burned alive by H. Holmes. This lady was supposedly poisoned by him. It's very rare to see that many.
Yeah, he didn't have a specific method. And
Yeah,
that's, to be fair, though, that comes back, was he truly a serial killer or was he just a mass murderer?
yeah,
Because he wasn't doing a series of killings
no,
based off of a type or based off of a motive. He was a true psychopath.
yeah,
He was killing any and everybody because he liked it.
yeah.
He
A
was
true,
sadistic on torturing people and doing that. I mean, it's,
a true
when you
devil.
look at him, he does look a little weird. That the mustache doesn't help, but his eyes look weird. I mean, he's not a. You have to put a picture up of him.
Yes, so
His mugshot.
I learned an interesting fact, and you guys out there in TV land can
YouTube
look
land.
this up and YouTube land and look this up and verify it. When you look at photographs of known serial killers and psychopaths, they always, when they're looking at the camera, you can always see white under the pupil in their eyes. And that has been proven scientifically as an indicator for psychotic tendencies and sociopathic what do you call it? Actions in people. So, like, if you look at
I can see white under your eyes.
whatever, you cannot.
Oh, you're gonna go back and look at that, and you're like,
But like look up what is it?
we're debunking that now.
What?
I squint all the time, so I'm never gonna be a psychopath.
What Manson? What was his first name?
Oh, Marilyn?
No,
Yeah, Charles. It's Charles
Charles
Manson.
Manson picture. So if
And
you
you
look
can
that up,
look at when you look at the mugshot of him, you can barely see under his eyes.
so
He almost looks stoned.
well, that's because he was. But like if you look at Ted Bundy, you can see the white under his eyes.
You're gonna go back and edit this, and you're gonna see all the white around your eyes, and go, "Oh my god!"
Under, not around, under the pupil. So if I'm looking at you straight, you can't see the white under my eye.
I can totally see the white under your eye.
Full of shit. Anyway.
Yeah, when you're editing, you're gonna go, "Oh shit!"
Anyway,
and now you're smiling and squinting on purpose. See, there you
nothing.
can't. Now start talking.
Right now. No, it's when you look at a camera like normally. Whatever. So,
Psychopath.
I know that they were talking. Scorsese was actually in talks with doing a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, and they were actually going to start filming it.
I thought they made it.
No, it was released. It was supposed to be released by Paramount TV and Hulu, but Hulu dropped them, leaving the whole project unfinished.
Yeah, the Devil in the White City.
I think that would have been a pretty good movie.
That would have been interesting. That could have been an Oscar winner for DiCaprio. I mean, because he has that. I think he could pull that psychotic off.
Oh yeah. Have you ever seen the Shutter Island?
Uh-huh.
That was the same kind of character, schizophrenic. Like, I think he could have pulled that off. But, yeah, it's an interesting story. I'd like to circle back around to it at a future date to get more in depth on like the actual individual.
Each one of the killings and kind of go through, because there's some he confessed to and they found out later that they were still alive.
Yeah, but I think that would be fun to do, like short episodes of each of the individuals, like 5-10 minutes, and kind of get more of a backstory. It would even be interesting.
Murder
to do
Mondays.
Yeah, Murder Mondays. That's actually not a bad idea.
And this is the murder victim of H.H. Holmes, known as, and this is how they passed away. And we'd like to say we're sorry for their family. He was a psychopath that got caught.
I think it would be interesting to do an episode on not just this one, but World Fair expositions throughout history.
Next, you're going to tell me about going after Garth Brooks and all the disappearing people from his tours.
Really?
Oh, have you not? That's a Tom Segura started that rumor, and when you start looking into it, it gets a little weird. Like,
I have not heard that.
Oh yeah, look into it, because it looks like there might have been a serial killer following Garth Brooks on his tours. The amount of people are disappearing, but that's also like a lot of people know, like people trafficking is a real thing. Cruise ships lose people.
Thanks.
411.
To be honest, I'm not worried about that, because they'd have to have like 5 guys to traffic me away.
I mean, that's eat cake. Heavy people are hard to kidnap. I mean, there's a I don't ever want to be under 200 pounds. I'd be able to be picked up and carried away too easy.
Yeah. Oh, that was a big one. The whole wall shook.
No. So, and keep in mind, most.
Do you see
most
that
people? No. When it comes to most killers that are serial killers, they are looking for people that act like victims, that don't make eye contact, that don't, they're not paying attention to their surroundings. There's a bunch of stuff to think of. But some of like if we went through the conical 5 of Jack the Ripper and why they think they're all tied back to him, that to me,
that'd be interesting.
Murder Monday. Yeah, and then we could go through the famous ones of like the Bloody Bender, the colonel that was killed, that really got them where people were going after him. They never got caught, but there's certain key murders that happen that cause these to be, the BTK, Bordello, So
this would be an interesting rabbit hole. Do you think? So I'm thinking of John Wick at the moment, for some reason.
Don't kill a dog.
Because he's a serial killer. I mean, or mass murderer or whatever. Do you think there's an underground society of serial killers?
They're called mafia hitmen. They're black ops operatives. I mean, there's what name you want to call, but yeah, the military has them. Black Ops. What works is what they called it.
Please don't come after us for saying that.
We sent the SEALs out to take out Bin Laden. What do you think they're doing on the stuff that they're not talking about?
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. But they don't have psychotic tendencies.
No, they're tested for that.
Yes.
You got to be crazy, but not too crazy. That was an interesting psyche valve. Working with explosives. We want you crazy enough to blow stuff up, but not crazy enough to blow everybody up.
I think about the movie Armageddon when they're all being tested psychologically, and they got what's his name?
Malkovich.
No, the guy that sits on the gun and is like, "I had a good spot picked out." Those are the people they're trying to avoid.
Yeah.
What's his name? The creepy looking guy, Steve Buscemi.
Yeah. Steve Buscemi, yeah. But there's a fine line of being crazy but not crazy enough, and then there's too crazy. There's for snipers and that there's constant regulations on watching because to make sure people don't go too far. But you do have to be in a certain zone to be able to do that type of work and have it not affect you.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
and that's a small. People don't understand that is like 0.5% of people, period. And then out of that 0.5%, another 0.5% are the crazy ones. The other half are the okay crazy ones. And they're trying to find that nice little even balance. One wrong lab accident, and now you got a serial killer. Yeah.
So I would love to end this off. I would love to do an episode on that Russian female sniper from, I think it was World War II, that had didn't she have the longest confirmed kill for so long or something like that? And
I'd have to. I know she racked up a pretty decent one. The White Death from was he Sweden or Finland? He was crazy.
Yeah. Oh no, he was certifiable. Yeah.
The fact that he was eating snow he was a farm boy that was extremely efficient at it and got blown up and then came back and still was doing it. And who knows how many other people were at that level? They just weren't being recorded.
Yeah, that's fair. Or didn't last long because they got taken out by someone else that was even better.
Yeah.
I think that would be a fun episode to talk about those kind of
murder hobos.
No, snipers in history. I'm
just saying, Murder Mondays might be a thing.
Yeah,
because that covers the Portlock.
It does.
The murdering of the hunter. Some of the 411s where they're finding the bodies. Kind of go through. Like I said, I think if we go through some of the critical murders that led to somebody getting caught. How that changed and all that. That could be interesting.
I'm totally.
If you're watching this episode, let us know if that's something you want to see. We want to see Murder Mondays. Because everybody, Mondays are always a brutal murder going back to work.
Oh, God.
So give you something to. Well, at least I wasn't that guy.
Oh, it just started hailing here. Is it hailing there?
Not yet. It kind of just calmed down. It's probably going to get pretty bad.
So, thank you guys for watching this episode. We want to say
H.H. Holmes.
H.H. Holmes. The
Murder Hotel. The Devil Inside Himself. The Devil in the White City. What else was he called?
The Beast of Chicago. The Tortured Doctor.
I think the title should be Devil in the White City.
Fraudster. Forger. Swindler.
And downright sadistic murderer.
Con artist. Yeah, he did it all. He was Cyrus the Virus.
So
yes, please be sure to like and subscribe. Comment if you think we fucked something up, or
we missed something, or want more behind the scenes of what we're. Because Parachums will put up some pictures and all that, but there's a lot when you start digging into him and what he was doing. And by chance, he screwed over the wrong person is the only reason why he really got caught. I don't think they would have caught him for many years, if ever,
Yeah, I don't think they
had,
would have.
had they
To be
not
honest,
started looking into it.
there would have been another series of crimes or something like that against humanity in another city because he had gotten away.
Yeah.
I don't know. But again, thank you for watching. Be sure to go check out our Facebook page, our TikTok, Instagram. I keep forgetting that.
And our page.
Rumble, and our website. So we are currently in the works for revamping and
Setting up subscriptions
and also reworking the shop. So we are trying to get people to go to our shop to purchase stuff chiming with the spirits related. So we're currently in the works of updating the pictures, streamlining it. We have several new
items.
items.
Yeah, we're doing a large variety of swag. Some of it won't be just our logo. We're going to do some funny T-shirts, some puzzles, some other stuff, and all this goes to help fund us to be able to do the podcast, to go do sites. We're getting ready to do the Arkansas Cryptid Festival. You got to pay for hotel rooms.
Sorry.
Got to buy stuff. Eat. Travel. Is not necessarily cheap. So
Hotels.
hotels. So we if you see us, definitely say hi and buy a Frisbee or something. We like being out. Unfortunately, like we have to have regular jobs, and if we got to have something to help pay for these expeditions and going to investigate, and that's the idea behind this.
Otherwise, we're going to have to start an OnlyFans.
Yeah, and you don't want
to do that. You don't want us to do that.
Our bodies are not made for OnlyFans, so please buy our merch.
It's more homely fans.
Yeah. Oh my God, fans. Oh, yeah, no.
OMGO or OMGF. So again, thank you for watching, and until next time.
Be safe out there.